Peace and power. This is your brother Maitreya Asek, also known as Shane the Artist, and I would like to welcome you to another episode of the Rebellious Rhymer Podcast. That's right, family. Black conservatism without the buck dancing yet. Today we are going to talk about Ghana. Yes. As of May 25th, 2026, Pope Leo XIV issued a formal apology for its role, for the Catholic Church's role in the transatlantic slave trade, okay? So, Ghana officially welcomes this apology. They accept this apology. So here's where I am with that. It's okay, fine. The Pope wants to apologize for their role in slavery. That's fine. Okay? Kudos to you. You have some type of morality there that made you want to apologize for your role in the transatlantic slave trade. Kudos to you. Now, that apology needs to come with some type of restoration. You understand what I'm saying? Some type of reparations. There need to be some repairs along with that apology. You get what I'm saying? An apology is symbolic. I can understand accepting it. I can understand the politics behind it. But at the end of the day, an apology does not put food in the mouths of our children. It does not put a roof over our head. An apology is more beneficial for the Catholic Church than it is for Black people globally, and particularly foundational Black Americans who were the most affected by the transatlantic slave trade. Y'all get where I'm coming from? Y'all share this podcast, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Rebellious Rhymer Podcast on YouTube. But you see, this is why foundational Black Americans, this is why we delineate. Okay? This is why we delineate from the diaspora. You see what I'm saying? Because foundational Black Americans is not going to just accept an apology without any type of repertory actions to go along with that. Okay? What about, enough of the symbolic gestures. Cut the damn check, first and foremost. That's how you can apologize to me. Cut the check for reparations. All right? Here's another way that you can apologize to me. Return that stolen gold reserve that was stolen from Africa. Return it. Return the stolen gold reserves. Here's another way that you can apologize. Return those stolen artifacts that was stolen out of different parts of the continent, different parts of Africa, that was stolen out of Kemet, whole temples stolen out of Kemet, whole obelisks stolen out of Kemet, gold, silver, our ancestors' corpses stolen, defiled. Return those items. That's an apology right there. That's the kind of apology that foundational Black Americans are looking for. We do not need your symbolic gestures of an apology. Fine, you acknowledge your wrongdoing. Okay. But what comes with that? There needs to be some reparations with that. Okay? Because if that's all you have to offer is an apology, well, hell, to me, that's like a wound, having a wound, and all you want to do to try to heal that wound as the person who inflicted the damage is to rinse the blood off with some water. Not even rinse the blood off with some water. Wipe the blood off with a dirty towel with germs and shit on it. Wipe the blood once, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Not putting the Band-Aid, not healing the wound. Putting cocoa butter, Neosporin on that wound. Covering that wound with a Band-Aid or with a bandage properly. Okay? This is repairing the damage, not an apology, not just wiping the blood off of that wound with a dirty towel. I'm gonna crack open my soda real quick. I see some people who want to get up here and join, but I'm gonna tell you something. If you're coming up here to troll, I'm going to get rid of you and I'm going to block you. All right? Yeah, we need to be fully repaired. This is why Ghana do not speak for us Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, because we are not simply accepting an apology. Okay, because yes, they are. An apology is admittance to historical wrongdoing. Kudos to that, like I said before, but it's not enough. We need reparations out here. We need to be restored. We need those artifacts that was stolen returned. We need that gold that was stolen returned. What if Ghana does get these reparations that the Democrats are trying to, push? That the Democrats are trying to push on us and trying to. They already usurped. They already usurped Juneteenth. Okay, they're going to celebrate Juneteenth in Ghana. Juneteenth has absolutely nothing to do with Ghana or the diaspora at all, and it has everything to do with foundational Black Americans and our lineage here on this land. But yet and still, the Democrats are on their way to Ghana to talk about these reparations for Ghana and to celebrate Juneteenth, our holiday, foundational Black American holiday. And let's just keep it real. What if Ghana does get these reparations, right, for the transatlantic slave trade? I'll tell you what's going to happen. Black Americans will not see a dime of that reparations money. Hell, I don't even think the people of Ghana will see a dime of that reparations money. Ghana is going to be exactly where it is now. You're going to have your top officials and the elite in Ghana taking that money and doing what they've always been doing with the money. While the infrastructure is failing, the education is failing, people are fleeing all over the place, leaving the country. You have slavery, modern day slavery running rampant all throughout the continent. So I don't think reparations would do any good. Not to say that, well, listen, I don't think reparations would do any good, okay, going to Ghana. If any money is to be issued, it needs to be issued to foundational Black Americans so we can stimulate the American economy, not the world economy. We will stimulate the American economy because our ancestry goes back in this land, in this country. So that's why reparations need to go to foundational Black Americans and not Ghana and Ghanaians. Also, Ghana was complacent during the transatlantic slave trade. Not only was Ghana complacent, but they participated in the transatlantic slave trade. You had tribes like the Ashanti tribe. I talked about this a couple of episodes ago on my podcast. You have tribes that was warring with each other, capturing each other, and selling each other, colonizing each other. Why should Ghana get reparations for an atrocity that they contributed to? That's my question. That's my question. Why should they get reparations for a historic crime, the world's most greatest crime in humanity? Why should Ghana receive reparations for a crime that they had a hand in committing? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make no sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. So, foundational Black Americans know, do we accept the apology of Pope Leo XIV for the Catholic Church's involvement in the transatlantic slave trade? Well, there's over 50 million foundational Black Americans. So some of us might support it, some of us may not. But I can give you my opinion. in my opinion, is I think, like I said, kudos to acknowledging your historical wrong that you've committed. Kudos to you. But an apology is not enough. I acknowledge your apology. I can even accept your apology, but I'm not going to only accept your apology and then that's a clean slate. That's not how it works. I accept your apology. Now, what are you going to do to repair the damages that you've caused? What are you going to do about the damages that you caused? You apologize. Fine. Apology accepted. Now, what are you going to do about it? Your actions that you supported because you felt that Christians or non-Christians deserve to be put in chains, or what you perceived as non-Christians. So they put people in chains during the transatlantic slave trade. It affected generation after generation after generation of Black Americans in this country. It still affects us today. Don't care what anybody have to say about that. It's not up for debate to me. Psychological damage, financial damage, murder, bloodshed. Our blood is soaked in the soil here in America, in the hells of North America. The foundational Black Americans' blood is soaked in this soil here due to that transatlantic slave trade, due to Jim Crow. It's not just about reparations, is not just about slavery. It's about Jim Crow. It's about the slave codes. It's about mass incarceration. It's about redlining. It's about thousands upon thousands of Black soldiers not receiving a GI Bill to be able to own a home and to build wealth. Reparations is more than just slavery. In particular, the transatlantic slave trade. Because that is the reparations that foundational Black Americans are fighting for. Transatlantic slave trade. We feel that reparations is not just about race, it's not race-based, it's lineage-based. Our lineage goes back to the beginning of this country, of America. So Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, are the ones who need the reparations, who should be prepared, who's going to be repaired, because it's going to happen. We're going to get our reparations, whether people like it or not, whether people agree to it or not. I don't care if people don't agree to it. You have 60% of the American population didn't agree with freeing the slaves, and look at how wrong that was. They ended up on the wrong side of history. And it's going to be the same with this reparations. It's going to be the same thing. So if you want to be on the right side of history, you would agree with reparations for foundational Black Americans, not for Ghana or other African nations who participated in the damn slave trade. Ghana does not speak for foundational Black Americans. Ghana does not speak for us. Although we accept the apology of Pope Leo XIV, an apology is merely symbolic. It's not enough. It's not enough. I have a theory of what the Democratic Party might be planning. Okay? This is what I think it is. The Democrats have really been pushing things like the right to abode. Black Americans need to move to Ghana, go home to Africa, find yourself, find your roots, blah, blah, blah. The right to abode, right? This was heavily pushed by the Democratic Party. You know, you have people like Akon and other folks, a lot of the Black celebrities, they go out and they get dual citizenship to Ghana. I think Stevie Wonder got dual citizenship. People like Ludacris got a dual citizenship. I believe Dr. Umar Johnson got a dual citizenship. They want the Democratic Party, it seems like they are trying to push foundational Black Americans out of our ancestral homeland to the continent. That's just what it seems like to me. And they would like to replace foundational Black Americans with an immigrant vote. That's just my personal opinion about it. This is why they want us to go back to Africa so bad. This is why they're pushing this right to abode. This is why they are pushing reparations for Ghana, right? I think they're doing that because this might be the carrot that they want to try to dangle in the face of foundational Black Americans. Now, this is just a theory, all right? There's no concrete proof or evidence, but this is just my particular theory. I think that the Democratic Party want to dangle the carrot of reparations in foundational Black Americans' faces and then say, well, Ghana has control over your reparations, foundational Black American. So if you want reparations, you have to move to Ghana to go and get your reparations. That's my theory. That's what I think they're doing. That's what I think they're going to try to do to try to get rid of us. You want your reparations? You have to move to Ghana and deal with the Ghanaian government. Go get your reparations from them. We gave your reparations to the Ghanaian government. So you go to Ghana and get your reparations. Foundational Black Americans, this question is for you. And I already know you know the answer. If Ghana received reparations for the transatlantic slave trade, do you think foundational Black Americans is going to see a dime of that money? Even if we move to Ghana in masses, do you think that foundational Black Americans will see a dime of that money? I'm willing to bet that the answer is no. That's what I'm willing to bet. So I think I accidentally sent an invitation to somebody. Don't know who I sent an invitation to. Share this live. Send me your hearts. Please heart this live. Like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Rebellious Rhymer Podcast on YouTube. Also, follow me here on TikTok. And speaking of TikTok, I did receive my items that I ordered, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I love TikTok Shop. I love TikTok Shop. I can't get enough of the TikTok Shop. I get everything I need from TikTok Shop. Okay. I got my little game systems. I'm into. I don't know what it is. I'm a gamer, right? So I'm just really into those little game sticks that come with like 40, 50,000 games. I'm really big on nostalgia. I'm a Gen Xer, so I like to have all access to my old school games. But I'm looking for a game stick with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on it. Excuse me. So I'm going to keep looking. I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil as of lately, Resident Evil Requiem, which I beat it already. Now I'm about to run through it for a second time on insanity mode. That's about it, man. This is why we delineate and separate ourselves from the diaspora. The Ghanaian government do not speak for foundational Black Americans. Although the apology is cool, and it's accepted on its face for what it is, but it's not accepted as we're even. No, we're not even. Far from that. To be honest with you, the hell with an apology. That's my personal opinion, but I'm just trying to be diplomatic about it and say, okay, you apologize, that's fine. But like I said, a real apology would be to return those stolen artifacts. A real apology would be to return that gold reserves. And a real apology would be to cut that check for reparations to foundational Black Americans. You feel me? But look here, man, I'm about to go ahead and shut it down. So let's go ahead and do that. This has been another episode of the Rebellious Rhymer podcast. Black conservatism without the buck dancing. And yo, always remember that the revolution starts with you. All right? I'm out. Peace.